episode 23. Yes, this is the Jordan episode, and we are filming it and located at Fort Knox Studios
over in Jefferson
tonight.
Park.
Brought to you by Waterloo, the sparkling sizzle treat everyone needs. Co-host is John
of
tonight,
course.
once again.
Yeah, we got Johnny G in the back,
and
too.
we also
Don't forget
got
about Dr. Sleep.
in the house once again, joining us here on this fine afternoon.
Very special guest tonight.
We got some fucking slay lords that we just came upon, discovered them randomly once we ventured out to Round Lake one night
At the
on
Village
a
Spirit.
nice Saturday evening. We found ourselves in a place called Village Spirit. And Nystrodamus.
That's correct.
The band.
Hello.
Totally
you guys at
melted
the,
our faces off.
met them at the
We were just
volleyball court,
our
and then they-
faces were
yeah. You
melted
should have
off.
checked out his screen.
We recovered pretty well.
Yeah.
And we were just like, we gotta fucking have these guys on the show. We
Almost
gotta
didn't
talk-
survive
this
that
is gonna be
slam.
badass.
Glad to be here.
Brian,
That's me.
the drum lord, and
SteveO
is here with us. So good to have you guys here.
Thanks for having
This
us.
is fucking
Thank you.
badass.
Thanks.
Yeah. So first off, how did you guys book that show? What's the story there?
That was a good buddy of mine. We were just playing a show back in September at the Sugar Skull, and that was pretty much our first time having the whole lineup again after the quarantine and everything. And he's like, "Oh, I got this place that you guys are gonna love. It's out in Round Lake." And my idea was just like, we're traveling. Okay, cool. You know, at least we're out.
Yeah, dude.
At least we're out. And my buddies from Sinister Fate gave me a ring to take a gig out there, and it was
badass, man.
It was actually a really
It
cool
was
venue.
fun, dude. It was
I was
so
having a great
fun,
time.
man. It was such a good time.
And Village Spirit's a great venue too, I thought.
Yeah, that's
It
what I was
really
going to
was.
say.
It really was.
Good
Genuinely,
vibes,
it was
great.
good. Yeah.
Cool stage.
And Bernie seems to be booking some really cool acts there.
Burns.
Yeah, Burns. The Burns.
Him and I go way back.
We, out of Soundbox, we'll be back at Soundbox, running up shop again. But good old someone put up a flyer. Psycho Puppy. Shout out to Psycho Puppy.
Yeah.
They put up like a flyer up in the spot, like in the stew. And so we were like, oh shit, like not seeing posters or shows or being at anything for so long, we were just like,
We have to
we're
go.
going to this. So that's how we found ourselves out there that Saturday night, where you guys totally shred our faces off. And
Didn't
totally.
Psycho Puppy play that night?
Yep.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, they opened, correct? Or was there an act before them?
I think there was.
It was
I don't
them,
remember.
us, then it was Wonderlick and Sinister Fate. It was
Shout
four
out,
people.
yeah. Good shit, man. Real good shit.
Yeah, I was impressed by the stage. Like when they were talking about the stage before, it was supposed to be like a triangle kind of thing. And, I guess right before, like a week or two before that, they filled it up, and I'm like, okay, now that's a real stage. I was kind of wondering, like, I'm gonna stand over here, you three stand over here.
Yeah.
And it seemed like an awkward stage, but it was awesome.
That was awesome, dude. Yeah, before you guys got on the stage, we were talking with some of your dudes in the gang, and they were explaining to us that there were 4 Horsemen.
Well,
how's the story
so
go?
the name was Nystrodamus and the Horseman.
Okay.
And I was kind of like, SteveO, it's...
And how did go ahead and go to the beginning? Why is it Nystrodamus?
Well, you can do that.
So Nystrodamus came from, I was in another band called Friction Modifier years ago.
Yeah.
It was by 2013. And they had a female-fronted lead singer that was leaving to do her own thing. It was in a band called Stinkin' Lincoln, which was freaking hilarious.
Hell yeah.
But then they called me in, and they were like, "Oh, you can come in and you will be like the Nystrodamus effect." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And I love the name. And I was like, "Oh, I just got called Nystrodamus. That's cool." And that was actually around the time Judas Priest came out with the album Nostradamus. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. And, the next thing that happens, I tell my buddy about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're Nystrodamus, and he's like, yeah, Nystrodamus. I'm like, fuck.
Still
throw
badass name
still throw
now.
that in there.
It was already was already born.
But with the Horseman, I was getting really into bands like Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band.
Yeah.
And I was seeing he had his name next to another name to name the band, and I was like, yeah, that seems kind of cool, because I was on the edge with Brian going I'm going solo. He was telling me to go solo for 2 years, 3 years.
So I'm in this other band with my brother called Player Blue, and for a couple of years we were telling him look, you got to find some. He was playing with some guys who, I don't want to, whatever, but I was telling him you gotta go find.
It's okay.
Because Steve-O's kind of up here, and he's got a certain way of doing things, and these guys are way over here.
Okay, yeah.
And so, but eventually,
Steve-O's
eventually him and I, we started a side band together.
Yeah.
His band, I had my band. We started a band called Toxicator.
Yeah.
We just
Ooh,
we wrote one song as this thrash metal tune that we absorbed into Nystrodamus. But eventually, I still have my band, but he's like, hey, let's do this Nystrodamus thing for real.
Okay, cool.
And so he wanted to do Nystrodamus and the Horseman, which we started off as, because it was Nystrodamus and the Horseman would be the band. And I was like, I think it would just be cooler if we were just
Nystrodamus.
It's yes, he is Nystrodamus, but we're
The Horseman.
Nystrodamus.
Yeah. I like the origin story of that, though. That's badass.
And
I
so-
recently just started playing Darksiders. You guys ever play it?
No.
Anyhow, there's the 4 horsemen are hold up the galactic universe during the apocalypse. But anyhow, it's that's epic. I like the ring and the origin story, but obviously the name is badass as is.
I figured we'd
Holds
just
up.
be as concise and original as possible, just Nystrodamus.
Yeah.
And so that's what.
And it also helped that when a buddy of mine, his band was called Will of Man, and right when I was Nystrodamus and the Horsemen came to my mind, I saw they changed their band name to the 4 Horsemen. I'm like, shit.
I think they spelled it
Do a show with you, and then hey, put your merch right next to mine.
but they spelled it M-Y-N at the end, and I was like, all right. But then we started playing out a couple weeks. What was it? Whatever.
The one in Bradley at the Looney
Bradley,
Bin.
Illinois. We our first show as Nystrodamus, just Nystrodamus. It was aren't you glad we're Nystrodamus and the Horseman? All right, up next is the Horseman. Aren't you glad we dropped it? Because it's a little confusing.
I felt like Eddie from Prison City Brigade put that out there just to fuck with me.
Because his former band called the Isolated Brigade played a show with the Prison City Brigade, and there's too much.
Oh wow.
It was the Battle of the Brigade. It was an awesome show.
Yeah. How far back do you guys go?
So we met.
You can do this one.
I kind of started off in 2016 with. I'm in a prog rock band where I.
Is that when you started playing drums?
No.
Okay.
No.
Way too good.
No, I started.
The day before you saw him, that's when he started.
Yeah. I bought the kit the day before. I was like, all right, I'm gonna play drums. But I first started playing out in this scene, I guess you could say, in 2016 for real. Because I graduated college and all these things, and so I got hooked up with this one. I guess you could say he's a booking agent, a promoter. This one guy, he who shall not be named, but he kind of looks like Kingpin. And so we were kind of looking for a singer because in this other band I drum and do lead vocals. And
nice.
he was saying hey, you should find a dedicated frontman. You should call this guy up. And he's like, but don't mention my name. That was a big red flag. And so he's like, why? And so 4 months later, I was like, all right, fine, I'll call him up. So I call him up, and we get out the rehearsal. We get up my rehearsal space, and we play some Black Sabbath together, and we have him kind of guest sing on a show at Livewire Lounge. It ended up. We ended up not bringing him in the band because it wasn't quite what we were looking for, because we're more of a 70s type of Yes and King Crimson meets Megadeth and Rush type of band.
Oh, that sounds fucking awesome.
He's more of AC/DC meets Sam Kinison type of band.
Is that how you really think about me? Is that how you think? If you could describe me, you remind me of Sam Kinison.
It's like Rodney Dangerfield meets Ozzy Osbourne. It works. But anyway, but I still want to work with this guy because he's awesome. So our 2 bands are playing together.
No, we're working together.
But and so and his previous drummer died in a tragic farming accident. No, I'm just kidding.
Drummers, man, they just fucking
disappeared. Vanished, right?
Yeah. I was out there in the galactic. But him and I, because our 2 bands were working together, we wanted to we just wanted to keep playing music together, and I had actually kind of offered to be his band's drummer because at the time the drummer for his band was actually a bass player who was playing drums because their drummer left. Speaking with drummers who leave,
absolutely,
and then their bass player was actually a guitar player who started a bass because the drummer, the
Very
bass player
versatile.
became a drummer.
Yeah.
It's
Adaptable
weird thing,
tape.
and then-
It truly is a long story.
It's a story that goes back to like early 2017.
But you guys are one of the gates of displays. Is that correct?
More or less.
Are you guys from Des Plaines?
He's
Oh,
from
no,
Des Plaines.
I live in Des Plaines currently.
That's badass.
But our rehearsal space at the time was like way out at like Lake Cook Road,
Oh
like
my
way up
gosh.
there. It's in like a warehouse building.
So like when I first met him, I was because I guessed who he was like referring to that recommended me. He's like, I couldn't even mention his name. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly who it is. And he
And
was
sure enough, Kingpin calls me up. He's like, baby, you gotta hook up with this guy. They're so great, you know, that kind of thing.
and it was in my because I just pretty much stopped working with him, not in contact with him or anything.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that I was gonna show up at that studio.
Yeah.
And he was gonna like sabotage, like jump out and go, hey, baby, remember me? And I'm like, no, not dealing with this.
Oh man.
But it was kind of cool.
Damn.
So yeah, so it just a couple years of like, hey, let's just kind of have bands play shows together. Okay, now let's start a side project together, and then eventually it was kind of year after year, and then eventually it was, hey, let's just start like a band, like for reals together. And so now, you know, I'm kind of in one band, I'm playing drums and doing lead vocals. In this band, I'm playing drums and doing backup vocals.
Wow.
And, so I'm trying to get both bands to play a single show together.
You're putting
so I can
the
do
work
a
in, man.
double
That's
show.
badass.
But
Honestly, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I practice a lot. I guess.
And where did you guys find that guitarist? How long has he been playing with you guys?
So that was
Craigslist casual encounter.
Craigslist. Shout out to Craigslist.
What's up?
Best guitarist out there.
Yeah, no.
What's his name again?
His name's Frank.
Frank.
Shout out to Frank.
Frank on guitar and Jake on bass.
Wow.
So where I met Frank, I was.
Yeah, they're sick.
I was.
You guys as a group were fucking sick.
Thank you. It was weird because I was trying to start finding members because I was telling Brian, I'm like, if we're gonna do it, I gotta find a guitarist and a bass player that will do it. And all the guys that were like, oh yeah, whenever you go solo, man, I'm totally gonna be there. Fucking call them, and all of them are like, oh wait, you're doing practice on this day? Oh man, I can't do drugs that day. Then that sucks. It's just like. I was pretty pissed off about like looking for that. Yeah, like I think we went through like probably 10.
We auditioned several people.
Yeah, and none of them really showed up. It was kind of like, oh, let me catch you up next week. But then Frank was a godsend. Like I went on that website BandMix.
Tell them the story about
We are actually looking for our drummer through BandMix.
Yeah, currently.
Honestly, it did work out. I mean, it did. I had a lot of 65-year-olds saying like, dude, this is my dream. And
Oh, really?
but I had a message from him, and he was like, dude.
Black magic.
And he started going, it's like, oh, you're really into like, do you ever heard of the band Budgie? And I just was like really into that band. And he's like, oh, I like Motorhead and I like Black Sabbath. I'm like, yeah, you're definitely in. And from a week, I got that message. I sent him all the stuff to learn from my old band, a couple covers, and some of the songs I wrote. And he came in and he knew all of them.
Are you
solo?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, this
That's fucking wild.
This guy, what I like about these two guys,
man, we gotta
Frank and
have him
Jake,
on the show eventually.
and hopefully they'll watch this. Is they're hungry.
Oh, dude,
which is
yeah.
good because
Felt
like
it,
it's
man. The
hard
stage
to find
presence was-
hungry,
yeah.
passionate musicians who are just gonna like throw
Dude, it's
themselves
really
at this,
tough.
you
It's
know?
there's
You got to tell the story of the guy
definitely
who
gotta
jammed
weed it
with,
out.
who ended up
Weed
not,
out
who was
the
like,
waters.
a few years older than us,
Navigate
plays guitar.
the cosmos.
I don't want to. If I say the punchline of the thing, it'll ruin the story. So you can. But we jammed at your place to Children of the Grave.
So
and a whole lot of
I did
roses.
try getting this one guitarist together with us.
From McDonald's.
Yes, he was. I mean, he was a legitimate. Like, he was really a good guitarist.
Yeah.
And he came over to my house, and I brought over a buddy of mine to play bass, which he was not going to be like a serious member. He just wanted to jam.
Yeah.
But he's on the drums. This guy's on guitar. And after we were done rehearsing,
Let it be known I was on his drums, and not my big one. I was on a smaller kid.
my kid sucks compared to that. But we get back to like right after rehearsing, I go outside and talk to him, and he was just like,
Yeah, your fucking drummer fucking sucks.
like he's terrible. He's
What
just
I was
like,
doing was
and he's just like, we need to get a new drummer.
you guys saw me play the way I play, but when I was playing there, I played differently on different kits, and so I was playing these like weird jazzy licks and kind of weird stuff, and
Just having some fun.
I was just messing around. I wasn't playing like balls to the wall, like big sound. I was just kind of just kind of playing these weird licks and stuff, and just kind of because you know when my kit, you know, I sit really high and I'm very on top of the kit, and I'm beating the crap out of it. But at his house, he's playing this vintage kit with these jazz cymbals and stuff. I'm like, you know, blue, whatever. This guy's like,
He's not metal.
And
I wanted to invite him to the show.
Right.
we invited him, but he was just like listening to his other band. It was all blast beats. That was like, you know, his thing. But I mean, like, Brian rarely does like a blast beat.
Yeah, I'm not a big blast beat kind of guy. Just not.
I mean, like,
shout out to blast beats, but all in good taste.
Yeah, I mean, I love them, but
Yeah,
I mean, like,
absolutely.
it's not necessary for everything, you know.
Yeah,
and
no,
he
you
definitely
definitely
proved
don't
that.
need it in the song or throughout an album all the way through.
Yeah,
I like them as like an effect. Like I use sort of blast beat-ish things here and there or something, you know. But it's you know, whatever.
Totally.
But yeah, that was a funny moment. I was like, we should invite him to the show.
That is great. Well, you guys got great stories. That is fantastic.
I love that. And you know, for the sake of not having this be a 3-hour podcast, you know.
I mean, it might be a
that's-
5-hour
that's-
podcast.
yeah.
Who knows?
But right
we
now,
can always
so-
have part 2. Or you know, we do.
we'll-
Absolutely.
I think
Jake and Frank
the fun one that Frank would always say is when we did our first show together, December 2019 at the Elbow Room.
It's like one of the when after they officially closed.
Yeah, it was like one of the official last nights, and we're near selling that show out, and we get there, we're playing the show, and you know, after the show, like I go upstairs and the bartender goes, "You're SteveO." I'm like, "Yeah, SteveO." He's like, I remember you. And I'm like, I hope that's a good thing. And he goes, because years prior, I almost was stabbed by another musician.
By a guy who
No names.
By a guy we did audition.
Before this incident, we had auditions.
We thought we had a problem.
We got to be careful with our audition.
So after we had auditions,
Stay close to me, guys.
and it hadn't worked out. He ends up. It was funny because I was actually working with him, so he was doing like a solo project and kind of wanted to bring me on, and I was kind of like, well, it didn't work out with this band, but maybe it's good. And then I heard about this incident. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it anymore with.
Yeah. So he didn't make it in the band.
So no, but so what happened was I go upstairs and I'm at the bar and the owner recognizes me and he goes, "SteveO, anything you want tonight is for you, because I mean, you diffuse a situation that could have been absolutely crazy." And because I mean, like, I'm literally just talking to a guy with a knife to my kidney, going like,
Not in his kidney.
not in my kidney, thank God. But I was just like standing there going like,
that close.
how did I just go from cutting my birthday cake to a knife in my side? And the owner just like gave me shot at, like, we pretty much cleaned out the whole bar. And like my guitarist always says to me, he's just like, you know, because I quit drinking about a year ago now, and he goes, you know, one thing I'm gonna miss is the tequila shots after every show, because you kind of made that a tradition right after after that Elbow Room show, and I'm like, you know, pull out a knife, maybe it'll be another tradition.
That's metal.
That is bad.
You know, I'm pretty badass.
Kind of like a knife to motivate you to improve.
Yeah. Put her to my kidney.
Yeah. Well, congrats on 1 year. That's cool.
Appreciate
man.
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Health.
HEALTH. I myself put down the spirits. It's not a bad thing. It's not, you know, not a bad thing. You know, wherein just like to navigate the universe without it for a little bit. It's a good thing, man.
It does
Very
help.
good. SteveO, when did you start to songwrite? And what got you involved with like wanting to be in bands and jam?
So I started like a little things in school. Like when I was in elementary school, I joined the choir because all the girls were in the choir. So I was like,
As you do.
so I was like, all right, well, if I want to hang out with the girls, gotta join choir. And just starting with Christmas songs. And I told this to my buddy the other day, and he was kind of surprised by it. But there was a song in Year Without a Santa Claus. Have you guys ever seen that movie? Yeah. There was one song in there that I just like made me feel like that's how I should start singing. I should start singing because I like singing this song. But then, I mean, like in the background, I loved, listening to Black Sabbath, AC/DC. My first band, which was a
Were
joke.
those like the first rock albums you were?
Yeah,
listening to?
My first album I bought with my own money was Blizzard of Owls. So that was really a pusher for me. But I was in the first band called The Foreheads, which was pretty much trash talking this one girl that we didn't like, and
To be young again.
Yeah, she had a big forehead, so we wanted to call her band The Foreheads. And then it just started from there on. Like, I've collectively been in like 13 bands since 2006. Wow. And it's all of them. All of them were all fun in their own way, but somebody leaves, and then it's just like, are you the one that's still motivated? You take the ones that are still motivated. They leave, and then you're the one still motivated, so you have to find new people. I mean, it's a tough road, but I feel like I'm finally at a part where I'm like, okay, we can write whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, no, you guys are definitely doing something.
Yeah,
for sure.
And bringing in like stuff from other bands too to play, and it's fun.
That's badass, man. So how old were you when you were in your first band?
I was
Roughly.
a legitimate band, like actually, being a singer was, I think I was 13.
Teeny pop rapper.
Yeah, I was. I was in a band called The Scourge, and we were big World of Warcraft fans, and I walked in with a bass, and they were saying to me, they're like, yeah, dude, I'm a bassist, and you're gonna put that down, and I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I came in here thinking I'm gonna be the bass player like Gene Simmons,
Yeah. So when you're running through at-home rehearsals, just go through the jazz. Are you one of those like bathrobe out the front yard, kind of just like projecting your voice, or do you like to practice in the shower? Or do you just wait till you get to the practice room and go off?
Well, some days I get the chance to do a little bit of warming up before practice, but I usually, like, if I catch myself in a room that's like really echoey, I love it. If that's good acoustics, I just start singing.
Hell yeah.
Hotel lobbies.
Yeah. But I never thought I was going to become like a singer, because it was like I wanted to play bass, and then they're like he started playing War Pigs on his bass, and I was like, I started singing. And then all of a sudden, I'm singing.
That was it.
Just they told me to shut up, put the bass on. I was sad for like a second after singing that.
That's super cool.
Do you still play bass?
I still play bass here and there, but I'm mostly on guitar. But in this band, I get to actually write guitar licks and stuff like that. Because in every other band, it was like, oh, you're the singer, so just put the guitar down and sing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think I can actually play something,
Yeah, no.
Can't sing and play.
Do you prefer songwriting with a guitar? Like laying out the notes?
It all depends. Like, if I write something that, has like a good vibe to it that I can go with, sometimes it takes me a little bit. But how it's been lately, I've been just singing out the song, and I'll show it to Frank, and then he'll go, "Oh, you mean like this?" And then it goes, "Yes, like that." Like how did I not even think of that?
It's like working with Dr. Sleep. Shout out to Dr. Sleep.
Shout out to Dr. Sleep. Holy shit. Dude, that's badass, man.
Yeah,
you're doing it. You're fucking slaying, man.
Yeah, because
I love that.
I had a song. I was holding on. I mean, a lot of these songs that we're recording next weekend, I had like in.
You guys are recording next week?
That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, so we're
Where you going?
recording our debut EP. So yeah.
Get it. Rawk Radio,
So I've,
episode 23.
So I've already.
Do you guys have the
I've already-
working title?
I think it's Even the Scale.
Even the
Named
yeah.
after the song Even the Scale. Yes, we do. I've already I've already recorded and tracked the drums. They're edited.
Awesome.
Actually, Bruce, who we're working with, who's engineering all the sessions, we rehearse at my house, and I've got like kind of a studio down there, so that's where I recorded the drums. So I said we were working with this guy Bruce, and he already sent me like some edited tracks that I need to listen to. But they're pretty solid. So yeah, so this Sunday we're starting with next up is guitar and bass. So it's
Love it, man.
this
Can't
is
wait to
fan-
hear.
these are in the
Great.
works, man.
Yes.
They're coming together.
How many tracks are you guys going for?
6.
Tight.
So we've got those 6 tracks. We've got like a dozen joke tracks.
Go out there,
Random
man.
joke songs
You
are
guys
coming out.
did get to hear that song
guys-
that night. We got to play "My Life Sucks More Than Yours."
Well, that's,
Yeah.
that was the one joke track that we were like, okay, maybe we can make this like a real thing. We've got a bunch of like 30-second like comedy tracks, but we also have when we first
Dick-shaped
started the
band.
band, it was a lot of the song. We took a lot of the songs from his previous band and kind of like metalified them.
Yeah.
Like I changed a bunch of the drums. The guitar and bass are almost the same, sort of.
Yeah.
The song, the whole skeleton is basically the same, but we added some meat to it, and just play them out.
Yeah.
And they'd sound like us.
Gave it the goods.
You know?
Yeah.
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 Like what did we play? I Don't Want to Die to open that show.
I think
So
so.
that tune where at the last verse I go into basically a Hot for Teacher type of groove, like that's not in the original track, but just like let's just have some
Have
fun
some
with
fun,
it, and
yep.
kind of just because the songs they were written pretty simple, so we kind of just figured we would do whatever we want with them and basically see what we could get away with.
Yeah.
And
Fun,
then,
open-ended
that's great.
ideas,
They ended up
yeah.
sounding
And it's
a
still
lot like-
in the works that I would love to re-record them with these guys. Because to me, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah. I don't know in regards to like because the tracks. What do we play? Another 5 or 6 tracks or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about like copyright because the band has recordings of them on YouTube and everything. But if we put out like I don't know, I'd have to ask somebody who
totally not
understands
me
like
on those.
copyright and trademark and things like that.
What a
But,
wild
'cause-
story, man.
Yeah.
Copyrights.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But
I tell you, we learned a lot.
well, because I just don't want to get like a YouTube, like a YouTube copyright strike or something. But I was saying, well, maybe we could just do like a live recording of them, like at a show.
Yeah.
Do a live recording of the show, because it's basically like putting out if we were to play a Queen song, like what are they gonna copy? Is Queen got a copyright strike or cover?
Yes.
It's basically a cover, so we just
So badass.
But
What-
I did
go ahead.
from your message, I did, just so I don't forget, you were saying like if there was any kind of promotions.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh, yep.
We're all here for
So I
it.
brought a little
selling
gift.
milk.
I got a gift for you all.
2%.
For all the viewers out there. You guys are one of the few that get the Nystrodamus candles.
Whoa!
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh! Look at
Read 'em
that.
in week.
Nystrodamus candles,
glory.
man.
I have
They
one in
will
front of my
be sold at the next show.
That is phenomenal merchandise.
I thought it would be a good
when
touch
you
with
light
the
it and say
ferret.
his name 3 times in the mirror, he'll appear and just go, "No me battery, fili espiritu santo."
Maybe they bubble boop.
Is this a sexist handle too?
No, it's religious.
This is amazing. Dude, when did this
It's against the
when did this
religion to be centered.
come to be?
He
Quarantine.
does a lot of.
This is a fantastic centerpiece.
So he kind of went crazy during the whole quarantine thing and made a lot of those like face swap videos. Oh yeah. And so my favorite one is him. He's face superimposed on Vincent Van Gogh, the self-portrait. It's my favorite one. I almost want to set it as like my desktop background. Yeah, right.
No, I just started doing these. I did it as
So
like a Christmas gift.
until Even the Scale comes out,
Yes.
where can the cosmic collective, aliens, humans, and other galactic race find one of these?
At the next show. I mean, right now I want to have like full attention on the album, so we're not like, you know, hey guys, we're gonna go do this show right before you have to record. Because I mean, this is their first time recording. Me and Brian have done it a couple times, but
We've both done it a lot of times.
Yeah, we want them to be
Comfortable. Yeah.
yeah comfortable. I mean, like it's
Good
their
team.
you know,
Yeah, you guys are
you
good
know,
team.
I don't want them to be overwhelmed. I mean, doing the shows. I mean, like I looked at them when they did their first show with us, and they're like, you know, like holy shit, you know, this is what we're in. You know, like we were just rehearsing. Yeah, maybe SteveO was doing a little bit of this, or Brian was doing a little bit of that, but holy shit, the crowd's going nuts. It's like, yeah, what's having a time?
Feels great. Keep it up.
You know, like we're kind of pushing their comfort zone, but it's like want them to be, you know, excited as much as we are.
I just don't think they've been in bands that have done things to the extent that we're doing them, because we're trying to just push this as far as we can go. Like,
Absolutely.
just run the train as far down the tracks as possible. So, but him and I have had a lot of experience doing shows and recording.
Yeah, I mean, and we also, and
all kinds of things.
I'm not like to toot our own horns, like, you know, we appreciated everything that we did, like, you know, doing small shows, like playing the Pizza Shacks and playing like in somebody's yard. But, you know, we'd like to try and do something a little bit more serious, like actually doing venues and actually sell tickets. You know, don't look at every gig as like, well, if I told you to come see it, you know, it'll be another one. It's like, no, let's actually work at building something.
Well, we almost got there with our own respective bands. About in 2017, we were doing these like Reggie's Rock Club shows we were selling tickets to. But then like my band at the time, we ended up having to part ways with our bass player at the time. And then his band basically went into the whole.
They were working with producer manager
and all these things. And so just we were like, we got to this point, and then just like unfortunate circumstances, so we're kind of building back up.
Tell me about it. It happens.
What a roller coaster it is to create.
Sounds like
music.
a band, right?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Brian, when did you start pounding, man? When did you start hacking away on the old
I
skins?
started when I was 14 in 2007. It's like the summer going to my high school for
Dude,
freshman
you were
year.
only you were 14 when you started?
I was 14. And,
Dude, I thought you were playing since you were 2.
Well,
like at your skill level, I was like, okay, this guy has definitely been playing since he was maybe 9 months, 3 days,
a lot of
and 7
catching up to
seconds.
do. So I was like, all right, I just kind of wanted something to do that wasn't just like play video games all summer, because I was kind of this chubby nerd guy. And so I bought this $300 like cheap drum set, and then I was like, I found myself practicing like 8 hours a day to like Metallica and Megadeth, Black Sabbath and Trivium, and eventually got into like Dream Theater and all these things. And I just kept building and building my kit. I was like, I want more bass drums. I want to be like, you know, Lars Ulrich and Mike Portnoy and all these guys, and I just kept building my kit, and I started this. My brother played guitar, and he was like,
Your kit
like
is absolutely
it's a little much sometimes.
No, it is.
Your kid can have its own episode.
Divine.
We'll get into that later, but it took me many years to kind of build that to where it is, because some of those cymbals are like 10 years old. But you know, because it's slowly pieced it out, because you know, it'd be expensive, just one-time purchase. I'd be saving up forever. But so basically that kit, you know, if you want to, like, whatever. Anyway, so back in high school, I was in like this band and that band, but I was kind of in this band with my brother and his friend David, who played bass, and we were kind of like, hey, let's like write this tune and that tune, and being in that band, because they were like, hey, we want to play like, you know, this all these really hard songs, like they wanted to play one song that comes to mind is Scarified by Racer X. It's this shred tune that's just a lot of double bass, and it's like I gotta catch up with these guys who are 2 years older than me and all these things. It's
good to just throw yourself into that.
And then they went off to college, and so I started this prog band on my own, and I managed to somehow, in like a month, I got a bass player, guitar player, singer, and a keyboard player. We played Pull Me Under for all the bands.
Manifestation.
And I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing this. And then eventually I graduated higght school, and I was like, I want to do this like for
Shout
real.
out to high school.
So I'm gonna so
Brought to you by education.
and so I attended Northeastern Illinois University, just basically down the street. 4 years there, I got my percussion performance degree, graduated in 2015. That was spent, and so during that time, for a couple of years there, I was in a death metal band. So it was a little something different, but I really missed that band. We were together.
What was the name?
It was called Obsolescence.
Cool.
And there's still like a Bandcamp link somewhere out there, Bandcamp.com/obsolescence. We had 4 songs. We recorded a music video that unfortunately never saw the light of day, but we had 4 songs, never fully recorded the drums. We played a few shows, backyard show as you do, and we played a bunch of venues that I think don't exist anymore. But I kind of missed that band. I mean, it kind of just disbanded under mysterious circumstances. The singer kind of just left one day, and one of our guitar players unfortunately had passed away a couple years ago, and another one of them suffered a major health crisis. He's been in intense physical therapy for several years now, and the band just kind of disappeared. Like the last time I ever even heard from a couple of those guys was. We were gonna play a show at like a VFW, and I had just gotten my car, and because I figured if I got this big drum set, I need a way to transport it and not just hire my friend who has a pickup truck. And I had all my drums in their bags, about to load it in. I get a call. He's like, "Yeah, the show's canceled." And so, but that was 2013, I think. And so a couple years later, I started picking up with my other band, with my brother and bass player. And, we were kind of like, hey, we want to be in this prog band and make all these kind of groove metal tunes and things like that. And we kind of fell apart with our bass player at the time because my brother and mine and my taste in music, my brother's taste in music kind of changed more from like Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Rush to more like 70s prog, like Yes and King Crimson. Because I spent 4 years playing marimba and listening to symphonies and things. So I was like, okay, and I'd gotten into singing and playing in high school because I liked singing. I never took it seriously, but I liked singing long before I was a drummer. And eventually I was like, hey, I want to I'll want to do backup vocals, but eventually find a vocalist. And the better I got at vocals, I was taking lessons from a few teachers and things. And as I got better at vocals, the more vocalists we auditioned, I was kind of like, well, I'm just gonna sing better than this guy. And so eventually, the band Player Blue kind of became this like band where I sing drums. I
sing drums and play vocals.
and my brother plays guitar and plays this MIDI control bass thing, and so
cool.
It's crazy. It's a
2-person band that sounds like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah,
but,
get the most out of the noise.
But through that band,
shout out to singer drummers, man.
And guitarists, bass
but
players.
from having done that, like if I didn't pick up singing and playing at the same time, like that band wouldn't have started gigging. We wouldn't have met the producer guy, and I wouldn't have met him.
Everything happens for a reason.
So because I was trying to like sing and play Dream Theater, and there's some on my Instagram, like I also do some Twitch streams here and there.
Nice. We can do that. Yeah. What's your Twitch?
Player Blue Band.
Shout out. Player Blue, check it out.
It's really less playing, really more of just me. It's either me, I'm playing drums and singing to some Dream Theater tunes, or I'm like playing Doom or something. So I learned a lot about streaming having done that. But yeah.
And now you're here.
Yeah, I mean,
amongst us.
I almost started singing out of necessity. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have ended up calling him. And it's kind of this long, like.
Yeah. What is the
You
official
pushed yourself
title
and
of
it paid
this?
off.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
it, man.
The official title.
Like, once it's up on your website, what will it be called?
Actually, I haven't put anything up on it yet.
Goofy Candle number 30.
I was starting at uglymug.com, but
Badass.
but the one thing I made a bunch of them, and a lot of people were like clicking to them, like they were all going like, "Oh, Kim Kardashian is SteveO, I love it."
Yeah.
And
You should delete that one.
yeah, it's
Well,
it's
What
What a
religious.
winding, crazy road you guys have traveled.
So
to
where we go
get here
from
to
here
this
is
day. That's just phenomenal.
Yeah, so we're gonna get this thing done hopefully in the next.
Yeah, do you have
6
any
to 8
dates
weeks.
in mind, or is it kind of we're gonna get in the
so this
stew?
Sunday would be the first day, and then I believe just from like past experiences, I'll probably go in the following week just to do some overdubs and stuff, because I want to make sure that everything on the Sunday that bass and guitar is taken care of, and then I'll worry about me. And
Yeah.
But then after that, I have a couple of my buddies that I also do short films on the side.
Dude,
on the music
come
side.
on.
So
Really?
Arcade Productions, shout out, young man.
Whoa, shout out. No way.
Foghorn.
Behind the camera or what? You just
Yeah, I act, my.
You act and write?
Act and write.
And
and
film?
direct. Yeah.
Whoa.
Strange short films.
Where can we
laugh and
find?
then
Where
you'll
can we
puke.
find?
They are up on YouTube, Instagram, Pornhub.
All the good stuff.
What's the channel called?
Arcade Productions. Arcade Video Productions.
Arcade Video Productions.
And they're all
Check it out now.
it's all pretty much short comedy horror sketches.
That's awesome.
Cool. There will be a link below here with that as well. Below.
Right there. We can't see it now.
But right about now is a perfect time for us to break away. We will be coming up and doing a roundup, but right about this time, we like to break away, and we are gonna go
Rock the fuck out.
Yeah, we're gonna go rock the fuck out.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Got SteveO Brian. Excellent having you on the show.
Thank you, guys.
Let's fucking rock on.
Cheers, y'all.
Man, that was phenomenal.
That's so Rawk Radio. It's like now. This is perfect.
And the recap is
Yep, it's like we all switched instruments.
Just go ahead and just talk a bunch of shit in the mics real
Check.
quick.
Actually, let's turn up this a bit more than those and bring those down. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll bring those down. How's this? Too hot? Boogie woogie.
That's kind of, I don't think
Which mic are you?
I think I'm the last one.
This one?
Yeah, check.
I'm the second to last one, but I'm super hot.
Check.
Is that it? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Check.
No, that's the
Tap it.
gangsta session.
I'm the second to last one.
Oh, that's the gang sound.
Game. Not a game.
Because it's a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check.
That's a game.
Check. There we go.
Preamble.
Sorry about that.
All about games,
This is kind of how we do it. We just have a bunch of blooper shots and trash it up, and we fuck it up all the time.
Oh, I already know this is gonna be an excellent.
This is gonna be probably the best episode to date.
We're not even gonna recognize it.
Number 23.
I want some candy cigarettes.
Too bad all we have is gun cigar.
Oh, gums are
Does that mean I'm not supposed to win?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rawk Radio Roundup. This is your host, NPR. With co-host John, Dr. Sleep in the House, and Nystrodamus, the wonderful, majestic, epic, ancient,
Flatulent.
hailing from Des Plaines, but coming to a bar near you very soon, and their EP/new album, working title album.
Yep.
Even the scale baby coming to all of you fine people very soon. You guys just tore the house down once again. Yeah, that was fun.
It's strange for me to not have a double pedal now these days because I spend so much time behind my big kit.
We have a handicap
But sometimes it's fun to have just like a super muted single pedal bass drum. It makes me think different. Get me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Do you usually play with the double pedal?
Yeah, well, I have the two kick drums. It's fun and it's a really big sound, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah.
When it comes to gear, where do you go? Where do you spot?
Like to buy gear?
Yeah.
Or I'm all over the place. I got my drum shells from Vic's Drum Shop in the city.
Shout out to LINXXX. Down there.
Yeah. We can see it. I think they're like online only at the moment. I could be wrong.
They actually do have a sticker up in Soundbox.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
But anyway, so I tried a lot of mostly like percussion places, Steve Weiss Music, Ruff's Drums, Sweetwater. Sweetwater's a lot of audio too. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Really?
Sweetwater's so bad. I just finally started using them like in quarantine, and then I was like, holy shit, this company is amazing.
They're great.
Yeah. And my brother and I, we had a whole lot of time on our hands. We're just like, all right, I'm gonna buy 100 feet of like Longevity gold.
My guy,
new trick connector. We're just gonna make a bunch of cables because they're nice or something.
My guy's Alan. His name's Alan. Shout out to Alan. My guy's Paul Allen. He calls me every once in a weird. Once a year just to check it out.
Bro.
Yeah.
You'll be like on the shitter.
Paul Allen's
gonna call you.
Just making sure you have.
Hey, just making sure you're doing all right.
Including the right grade.
Yeah.
Wiping your ass?
Yeah. Like most likely, if you were to take a trip of some sort, once you expand into the fifth density, you probably will get that call from Sweetwater. And your guy will probably be like, I know you're tripping right now. It's all right.
I just want to make sure you
But
have
I just want to make sure you got your gear. You know, they're good like that. They're very in tune with customer service.
Anyway. Yeah.
So shows. You guys got anything coming up?
Not at the moment. The next time we'll be doing something. We're probably going to do a live stream with Flabby Hoffman on his show.
That's right.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of Flabby Hoffman.
No.
Check him out on the link below.
Richard Flabby
We
Hoffman.
can't see, you can.
Richard Flabby Hoffman, the owner of the Extraordinarium.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, that's
It's
just
awesome.
it's a goofy like gift shop slash like venue slash like recording studio slash mini golf course.
No
So-
shit.
Wow.
Where is
So-
it? What is this called?
The Extraordinarium.
Extraordinary.
And it's as extraordinary as the name implies.
Extraordinary.
The Extraordinarium, yeah. Flabby Hoffman's an awesome guy. He's really well known in like the local Chicago like kind of rock scene, indie scene. Yeah, so
It's right on Diversity and Kimball and Milwaukee. It's like right in the center.
Location,
Yeah, he's built that shop up about a year ago or so.
So I was gonna say, it must be newer, right?
Yeah. He has for several years now. He's had his own like radio station. He's had every Saturdays and it was Saturdays and now it's on Sundays, I think.
Okay.
But he and I had been on it several times, and I was on there last like November, December to kind of promote what we were doing.
Yeah.
So he's doing live
Mini
live
golf?
stream. Yeah. So he's doing a lot of live stream shows of bands and things.
mini golf.
That's really cool. He's
Mini
doing
golf.
the live stream shows.
Yeah.
Bands, though.
That is so, that's tight.
We're
We're going live on episode 30.
Yeah.
So you guys are the Jordan episodes, which so this most likely is already destined for the whole thing.
But yeah,
If you guys ever want to do like a live stream show, like call us.
We would love to.
Episode
Yeah.
Cool.
We've been meaning to, because we want to get out to the bars and the gigs and stuff again, but we, like we said, it's a little difficult to navigate
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, because of all the things. So.
Yeah. Where are you?
Definitely, yeah.
What do you have anything booked for summer though yet?
Nothing yet, but everything that that I'm taking care of with the recording. I'm hoping that we will have the EP done by July, and we can have it up on Spotify, Apple Music.
Don't blow eventually. Once it's out, it'll be down here.
Yeah, it should be on every platform by July, hopefully. And after that, I mean, we got a little bit of talk about with a couple bands that we're trying to book a triple threat show that I think you guys all would, really like. We were thinking with travel.
Sinister Fate and Wonderlick, right? Yep. So two of the bands you saw at Village Spirit were looking at these shows.
We're trying to just keep our guitar players focused on finishing recording.
We're starting and then finishing in the morning. We don't want to like distract them. We have a show where they're gonna kind of.
Once, honestly, after they get that done, my work is ahead of me to start throwing it out there, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Who once again is mixing and mastering or working, producing this?
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith of the band Erico. Shout out to Erico. There's another hard rock band,
Local band.
Yeah. Patrick Ball Patch was in
I've known the drummer and guitarist for the front. That's actually the band.
I'm so excited for this album.
Any do you guys have like the art figured out yet? Album
Yeah.
art? Or, yeah.
I do.
And,
Maybe it's in the background.
oh, sick, man. This is-
Pull it up. Everyone back a little bit.
How did you make the album art?
It started from a photo, and one of my buddies did a bunch of Photoshop with it.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, guys.
Any like common themes, or is there
Are there any
any
common
concepts of the EP, or is it just kind of some songs you guys kind of wrote together and put together? That,
It's a lot of like. There you go.
there it is.
It's a lot of
This is
dealing with,
badass,
like,
man. What? Where'd you get the kids?
That looks great.
Excellent.
So yeah,
I
really.
Love the green.
I love how menacing it looks.
Yes.
So we're going off of like I was just singing a song, Brian. I'm like, let's go for like a Stone City. I mean, like we're just dealing with 2020, and everything was closed. Everybody was just hopeless, and I was just thinking like instead of like doing the apocalypse, let's just look like it's frozen in time. You know?
Well, and a lot of the songs were sort of written with kind of just like a vibe of like just having overcome like just the anger and frustration of like several years of just like this. Why isn't this working?
The struggle.
And
The
just
struggle.
like
Yeah.
I kind of sort of nicknamed the EP Anger Potpourri. Because it's just like there's every. We're not gonna say there's several shows now because like every song is pretty different, but they're just like it's just like different forms of anger basically. It's like like an angry like almost like revenge via like building yourself up rather than tearing someone else down or just like redemption and just kind of
it's like you're
angry at this and myself and this person and at least that's the kind of the vibe I'm getting.
It's almost like you wanna beat the shit out of that person, but if you actually do, you go to jail.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But it's kind of one of those situations like think about before you do something.
Yeah.
Like think about yourself. I mean, people do fucked up shit to bring other people down.
Yeah.
But you can only worry about yourself and be you.
Have some
And I mean, everybody I know, we all just talked about having issues with other people trying to get a wedge in the way. I mean,
Something that happens.
So it's kind
that's
of
why we're here today, man.
It's like
We're
it's
still going.
self-struggle, people struggle, and like physical world around you type of struggle.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you kind of start with the words then? Or is it all built around
usually start with the words.
with that? Okay.
Then a lot of times they'll send
So like those
concepts.
concepts. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Yeah. It's just like swapping ideas.
Basically, it's really shopping a lot.
Sending voice memos back and forth. Does it usually start off like, I got this idea, or is it just like lay down a few notes?
I'm usually the one with the voice memo, so I'll sing something out.
Yeah.
And I'll send it to Frank, and then Frank will come over and go, "You mean like this?" It's like, oh, he's on
Frank, dude. I wish Frank was here.
And then for drums, sometimes I'll come up with something as I'm listening to like recordings.
This is actually an interesting process.
Or I've just got several different ways of coming up with it. What I got Frank and Jake into doing was using Guitar Pro, which is that like four-man finale or whatever. But it's just like a composition program. And I told him, I was like, all right, don't use this to write. Use it to just jot your ideas down because I want them to just come out like organically. So we came up with a lot of interesting things. A lot of things that, so he's not really into prog music. He's not really into prog rock. He's not really into odd time signatures and weird things. But like half of the record is stuff using like mixed meters and like, but like it doesn't feel like it does, but it is.
That's how well it's done.
Because I was like, okay, like play this chord. He's like, this verse kind of sounds like this. And I was like, okay, that's really cool. That's in 5/4, and he didn't like even know because
Right. He's just vibes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I'm so excited. Yeah, this is gonna be really
or
cool.
there's this one section where
That's me and John. We're just like,
there's like a
Dr. Sleep is like, no, it's this.
and sometimes I have to like explain to him what he's playing. Like he'll come up with like riff on guitar. It's like, okay, that's this, like in this meter, and he's like, oh,
It's like, oh, dude, that song, dude, 7/8, man. That's like, that's really cool. And I'm like,
And I was like,
I didn't know I did that.
That's crazy.
I just heard the da.
yeah, he's got sort of I'm like, that's a 10/8. Like, what are you talking about? You don't like prog? Get out of here. Shut up. You're listening to the King Crimson when I'm not looking.
That's great.
But yeah, so I use like Guitar Pro, and so like sometimes like I'll write, sometimes I'll just kind of come up with something in the fly at a rehearsal, or something in my head later, or I'll look at. Sometimes what I do is I just write the drums to the guitar. Like I'll not even be at my drum set. I'll write like something and then I'll just practice it, and then like, okay, that's cool. And then
Amazing.
And then after we rehearsed it many times, I was like, okay, I'll change this and this and this, and then we're good to go.
So it's like
It's
it's
awesome.
vocals, guitar, bass, drums.
That's
It's a very interesting process.
It's
like a science experiment.
That's why I think we've come up with a whole bunch of like pretty original and interesting things because we start with the most like kind of well, I don't know, use old music school term, the most rubato of the instruments and most free flowing, and we sort of instead of starting with like the bricks of the house, we're starting with like you know
melodies,
like the tapestries first, and then we're building around the tapestries rather than starting with the foundation.
How do you think
bricks.
the process works out for you guys? Do you like it?
Honestly,
Pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Pretty good so far. I mean, like we got, I mean, along with the 6 songs that we're recording, we still have about 8 or 9 in the back.
Wow.
It was
That
supposed
didn't make the EP, you know.
Yeah.
Really? Some of the cutting
Like as soon as we're done and as soon as we release this, we're like, all right, next 6 songs, here we go. Like, immediately we're gonna have them like ready to start rehearsing and
That's
kind of
excellent.
figuring out.
That's great.
Yeah, because we were going to do 9 tracks, but then COVID, and right after I got, but right after they shut down everything, I was like, yeah, let's just do 6 just to get this out of the way.
Just to get it done.
Like,
Just to get something done.
Yeah, just get something out there, and it's been pushed back a whole other year, but I mean, I'm excited as hell just to do the 6 and then still have the other ones in the back burner to go like, hey, we got more. We're not just like, oh, here we go.
Keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, like me and Frank, I meet up with him almost twice a week just to say, hey, dude, I got this funny one for you, or he's got one for you. Like there's one that he just talked about called Dick-Shaped Band-Aid. I mean, I know like it sounds, it's like weird going like, oh, that's
This is one that it comes up like
Frank, I mean, me and Frank go like, we can go back and forth for a while.
Sounds useful.
Yeah. Like there's some things like like, oh yeah, that sounds really dark, and that song is about killing a person, and then I'm like, this song's about doing anal. Yeah, this is about doing anal. Yeah. And just loving it, and because like I was telling him like we could do like a bonus track every EP that's just like different jokes on.
Yeah.
I mean, like at the end, it's like I did comedy for almost 14 years.
Dude, that's bad. You guys should split like a bunch of joke songs up on Bandcamp or something. Is that like a split?
Yeah. I mean, there's like, come on, but horse shit. So I mean, like, I wanted it to be like, who gives a shit? We're playing whatever we want.
I think him and I have an interesting dichotomy going because like I guess I'm kind of more like the artsy fartsy, like I want to like seriously, and he's like whatever,
That's so it balances itself out.
Yeah, so we meet in the middle of this amalgamation of this kind of like these 2 dudes from completely different musical backgrounds who just are like, let's make some metal,
It's a good place to be.
It's fantastic.
It's working.
Yeah,
It's clearly working. And the live performance, definitely weird. It's like, whoa.
So I mean, I told him as long as the energy's there, and if you look like you're having a good time, you won't fail.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's a big thing in Second City. If you go on stage and you look like you don't know what the hell you're doing, the crowd is gonna say, "Well, fuck this guy."
Yeah, that's awesome you bring that up. We just had our first comedian,
Barker.
Jax Barker.
Jax Barker.
She was a stand-up.
A wonderful comedian. Go check her out. She's stand up now. Also, go check out the podcast, Papa Passion. Papa Passion podcast out now.
They're hilarious. Yeah, the little hands.
That's just me on a daily basis, but just like I still do like small little sketches here and there.
Yeah.
And I mean that was my way of just like saying I'm still in the scene. Like I mean I still talk to everybody that I did comedy with, but the scene got a little too different for me. Like it just was things weren't funny anymore.
I think a lot of professional comedians will agree with you.
Yes, and it's not bad to like walk away, but it's still like keep going in a different sense.
Yeah.
So
Things definitely change.
things change.
Things
but,
things constantly change, right? So we're here
We
doing it.
changed. We've grown and changed.
Yeah,
Musicians.
I love it. I love hearing you guys explain like your process and kind of how like it comes together for your band and like
And
songs.
I do
and
things
stuff.
to challenge, you know, Frank and Jacob when they're writing something. Like in the future, I'm like, I think we tried that with a jam where I was like, all right, you know, write a riff without like using, you know, 3 consecutive 16th notes, or I'm giving them very odd and specific parameters so they come up with something totally weird.
Yeah,
but, like,
that's
totally
really cool.
works.
Yeah.
That's how we got 8 Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how we got? How did we get that?
Hey, we just were in the
Kinda like
car.
a
We're
regular
like,
heartbeat.
we'll give you a little taste of it. So it's So I went to the church and I talked to the Pope. He told me all the reasons why I should get off the dope. He punched me in the face and I told him no. I took an 8 Ball. I took an 8 Ball. Yeah! That's great. Fuck yeah. So where does this sound? Okay.
So is that going to be on even the scale or on the next one?
Oh, that's on the farther on.
That's gonna be just maybe just all
Gotta be numbers.
That one I was talking to my weekly funny all we just like got a ska band and well, we had Schultz horns. It's like, well, we're a metal band.
Why not? I wanted to bring up, and I hope this is all right with everyone here. The costumes. You guys like really had like an attire going. Like you, I love the stage performance and like what like.
Oh,
did you
he
put
does that more than I
yeah?
do.
Do you put thought into like the what you guys are wearing or what you're gonna wear for specific shows, or is it kind of your drum set is already?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I wear like
space
I
shuttle.
swear I wear shorts that keep me planted onto the throne, my drumming shoes, and just kind of like whatever shirt I happen to be wearing that day.
Yeah.
I don't remember what shirt I wore that day. Maybe it was my Thomas shirt. It was just like the brand.
Yeah.
The previous week I wore an Arnold Schwarzenegger shirt.
That's awesome.
It was.
Just saying, I'll be back after you come back.
No, it's just a picture of him like this picture from like the 70s of him like just on a bicycle. Because he was wearing a cool shirt in that photo. I was like, I find that shirt. And I couldn't find the shirt, but I found a shirt with him on the bike wearing the shirt, so I thought that was good enough.
It's good enough. Close
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
But I mean, like
Sometimes I just show a little medallion, you know, whatever.
you know, when I was doing shows at the comedy club.
you were decked out.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, you know, every time they told you to go on stage, you had to wear like a button-down, look kind of formal, so to speak.
Oh wow, Steve Jobs.
Yeah. So I
Turtleneck, you wear a turtleneck.
So it was one day my brother had like a bunch of, you know, just blazers in a box, and I'm just like,
Down here.
right there.
Men's warehouse.
And I just was like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll start wearing these more. I was wearing one leather, or not one leather jacket, one blazer for a long time, and I just saw like that was my look. And even with, you know, being in Nystrodamus and all the other bands they had different looks with, I still like the blazer. I like to switch it up, like a different color blazer or something that, you know, pops out. Like, so you don't miss me in the room. If you fucking say you didn't see me, it's like, I'm the guy that looks like a fucking blueberry. You know, like,
I think I could
It works.
pinpoint our styles a little bit where you're very like the combat boots with the chains and the rings, and you kind of look like ringmaster, and you got the blazer.
Yeah.
Frank is a very like obvious metal like guitar player. He's got skinny jeans, a metal band shirt, really long hair, and then
Jake
Jake
is
is like
just
punk
a
rock.
rubber
And
belt.
he's
It looked like you guys were all
he's punk rock. He's like the
in
most
costumes. But I guess that's just your authentic
No,
self.
it's just
That's
not.
these are
Like
costumes.
this, I woke up that day and I was like, I'm gonna wear that. You know?
It's not a
Jake-
costume.
Jake
It's the
cracks
real
me
deal.
up.
Yeah.
The show that you guys said, Jake comes up to me before the show and he's just struggling with his belt. And I'm like, dude, did you put on a belt that literally has nothing to clip this thing onto?
Yeah.
So it's literally like, you know, doesn't even have a buckle. It's just a belt and he's just like, just trying to squeeze it together. And I'm like,
But, you know, life finds a way. You know.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, just roll the suckers up. And he's just like, all right, next I want to get a belt. I'm like, dude, we're kind of far from that. Like, you left the house knowing that I'm going to wear half of a belt.
Yeah, and I think at some point we would like to round off the lineup with a second guitar player at some point. Just
Cool.
That's so fill out the sound a little more, you know. It's like a metal band thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just be cool.
That's very
nice.
SteveO, as far as any film, will you be releasing anything anytime soon up on the YouTube?
Nothing yet so far, but I mean, we have 3 films up right now on Arcade Video. It's we have one film, that was my first one, called The Bowel Movement. Yeah, I mean, like every writer, you know, you have to start what you know, and
I think everyone can relate to it.
Yeah. And then I wrote another one called Third Wheel, which is about, you know, a guy seeing his friend after 10 years after high school, and his best friend, or this friend of his, you know, is dating a vegetable. And so it was just,
I forget, is that a literal vegetable?
You have to wait and
see it.
Alright, and then the last one is a video called Head Over Heels, of me dating a human head that's a laser. So, but we're in the process. If they don't start anything soon, we'll probably get something up in November with our classic story, Goblet. And there's just no Thanksgiving horror films out there. So.
Yeah, there's not enough of those.
There isn't. Yeah.
Go power up.
Yeah. Brian, what other projects are you currently in?
I'm alongside Nystrodamus. I'm also using Player Blue. We're actually also going to be releasing a debut EP within the next month or so.
Awesome.
So that's that's me. My first time ever like really recording vocals for real on anything. It's 5 songs. Myself on drums and vocals, my brother on guitar and bass. We're looking for a bass player and a keyboard player to kind of continue down the road. Because I've written a lot of full band music, you know, guitar, bass, drums, keyboard over the last basically decade, which is probably if fleshed out by other musicians could be, you know, 3 whole records of material, like full length albums. But it's like we're struggling to find band members, especially now in a time like this. And then I'm also in, I guess you could say, an entertainment-based percussion ensemble called the Cochavito Beats. Cochavito is the Indian last name of the 2 guys who own the group, Jeff and John, their brothers. We do a lot of Indian weddings and these church exit things. And
that's really
it's totally like not what I thought I would be doing, but like it's super fun. I get to jam out with a lot of percussionists, get to meet a lot of people, do a lot of gigs. I've been booked every weekend for the past several weeks.
Well, but both of you are very hard-working.
I'm just out here. You guys are throwing every pound of being I have at just drumming as much as possible.
I love it. That's the spirit.
What sort of percussion is used for Indian weddings?
So there's a traditional Indian drum called the chenda, which is like a 13 or 14 inch drum, probably about this deep, and it's a pretty heavy instrument. It's just got goat skin on both sides. It's rope tension, but basically it's just loud. It sounds like dunk dunk. So there's a tenor and a bass, and there's these 2 cymbals you bang together. So it's basically bass, snare, and cymbals.
Okay.
That's basically what it is, but it's like an Indian version of it. It's like a couple 1,000-year-old setup that they have going on.
Fascinating.
And so it's just this traditional instrument that we play for these. So basically, what we'll do is when the DJ's playing like a dance track or hip hop track or like an Indian song, we'll just play along to it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like modern fusion of like a traditional like Indian drumming and like hip hop.
Yeah.
And it's this really interesting fusion. So yeah, or KB beats for short. So and sometimes like I'll play drum sets, sometimes I'll play chendas, sometimes whatever. So yeah, if you can spell it, I don't remember how to spell it off my head.
Have either one of you personally been in contact with alien or UFOs?
How many times?
I like it.
5 times? 2, 3?
Oh, have I ever talked to aliens? All the time.
I've never done D&T, Joe, but I'm maybe.
Yeah. Because it's
What do you
like...
think was in that water loop?
Yeah,
It's not in the water.
Is that why this is all done?
The water loop.
Did an alien do that?
aliens, man. Because like all these files coming out now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
like
pretty
declassified.
Is it?
People,
Yeah.
people
Is it?
forget about it because they're like, let's move on to the
And
next
that
news
comes
story.
along, man. Just like, what the hell? is going on? I don't know if it's real.
I mean, I still thought it was crazy as hell just seeing those satellites.
Starlink, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Satellites flying over.
Oh, that
I didn't
was
see that.
crazy. Like, I think I was in Franklin Park and I saw it flying out for the first time, and I'm like,
It's like hundreds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was this?
that's probably about 2 weeks ago.
Was that Chinese stuff?
No.
No, it's the guy from Amazon.
Wait, what?
No, Elon Musk.
Yes.
Musk.
He has a rich guy.
Teamed up with
Yeah.
like the military to basically, it's like a new internet they're making.
Wow.
With a bunch of
Is
satellites.
it the Neuralink?
No, it's just going to be an affordable internet they're subverting.
Good.
How many rockets have fallen from the sky because of Elon Musk?
Oh, Elon. But Bezos is going to space now.
Yeah.
It's like all the billionaires are like, I got money, next step, space.
Yeah.
Rocket shipping from that.
You deliver your packages from the moon.
Well, use a satellite to dematerialize your sunglasses and rematerialize them over here.
I'm looking forward to the first Nystrodamus rocket ship.
Well, when it show folks on the moon for
Make
20
sure you put on your
years,
3D glasses.
And bring your camera.
Yeah. There's no atmosphere.
For any like upcoming artists out there, people that would like to maybe songwrite, get involved, jump in the scene. Do you guys have any words of wisdom, advice?
To quote Dave Mustaine, give up. No, like
Give up.
it's the opposite. No, do it. Just. This is something that I fought a lot with. Is like kind of insecurity and like lack of self-confidence and just being shy and not wanting to put yourself out there more.
Yeah.
Just put yourself out. Like just sometimes like I'll post a video on Instagram or something and I won't even watch it.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, this is probably what I wanted to do. Like, so I have to force myself to like post things just because I don't even like one of those guys who don't like the sound of their own voice kind of thing.
That's true. You gotta get used to it.
Get
it out there
like-
in order to actually start.
Yeah, and I've always kind of thought like, the difference between, doing the thing and not doing the thing is simply doing the thing. So just do it and it'll be done. And then you just forget about it.
And when you do it, don't shit on other people in the process.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's times that I'll be in a situation at a show, or when I was doing comedy, and just you see a person that tells a funny joke, or you see a band that they suck. Just give it to yourself, like and if anything, they were just like you. Like you could cheer them on. Like you guys are all in this together. Like, I mean, that sounds like a big pussy thing, like, tear them down. But, I think a lot about working with other bands, growing with other bands. I think it's more fun to say, like, you went along a ride with people that you liked, compared to people that you fucking were talking shit about the whole damn time.
It just really helps nobody to do that. Like, even yourself, like, you're just kind of,
Negativity.
you want to myself being angry. Like I don't feel good when I'm like just being mad about something or just putting others down. Like it doesn't help me. It certainly doesn't help them.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to make it and sit down and talk with people that I was like, oh man, remember when we did this to get to where we are now?
Yeah.
I like to be happy that I fucking made it instead of saying, oh, remember this band and we talk shit about the whole damn time and then we're below them, they're up there.
Yeah. Well, that's nicely said, and I really like that advice. That's
style. It definitely takes balls to just get started. And,
Believe me, I'm metalhead on every point of the word, but I still listen to all sorts of different types of music. I write all sorts of different types of jokes, and I don't fall in line with like the cliche like, oh, if you listen to this band, you're not a metalhead. Oh, fuck
Yeah.
I know more about metal bands than you will.
I've been listening to folk music lately in my living room.
Well,
One thing over here that come out of me too. I listen to a lot of folk too.
Well, you guys kick ass. This is one more I guess piece of advice that I thought about recently is is kind of just if what is that quote? Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're probably right. And you know what? Just think about it this way, like everybody who believes in you, go prove them right. And anybody who doesn't believe in you, just go prove them wrong. Just
well said.
Just do it.
Just yes.
Get the bread. Get that bread.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We got a bunch of good treats down below. You guys crushed it. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Excellent.
That's great, guys.
Keep rocking out. Keep slaying out there. Hope to see you guys out there in the scene, and look forward to seeing you in the show. And see you guys live again. Even the Scale coming to Nystrodamus very soon. And their pages right below here too. Check them out on Instagram. Until next time, dudes. That was badass.
Thank you so much.
Good night. Peace.
Great night.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, dude, killed it. Love that. Thank you, man.
so much.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.